All right, listen up, folks. It's time to stock up. And I found a great deal on some air restricting, clinically proven to be harmful to respiratory systems N95 masks on Amazon. And my Amazon Associates affiliate link is in the description. Go check it out because Alex Jones was right. Biden got his wish. Mask mandates are back. And the Washington Post wrote, the politics of pandemic mitigation return with the new school year because schools are mandating masks again in the deep blue, ultra left leaning, super liberal, uber progressive state of Maryland. And for the record, Maryland has long been a Democratic leaning state, and no Republican presidential candidate has won it since George H.W. Bush did way back in 1988. Man, I was only knee high to a grasshopper back then. And ever since then, Biden carried the black majority, Prince George's County and Baltimore City with almost 90% of the vote, and the suburban counties of Montgomery, Howard, and Baltimore with over 60% each. Not to mention, Biden supposedly won 90% of the black female vote that made up the 7 million votes that cost Trump a second term, which allowed Joseph R. Biden Jr. to claim his presidency 3 years ago. It's been a tough 3 years, folks, but more on that a little bit later in the video. And most importantly, we are seeing a last-ditch effort by the Dems to lock us all down. And man, I am so glad that I live in a free state. And not to be confused with those other Republican rhino states like Georgia, where Atlanta colleges recently reinstated the Rona mask mandate just before students return back to class. And they have since reneged on this decision after receiving loads of backlash from all angles, and the newly reinstated mask mandate lockdown attempt has just been confirmed to have already come to an end. The mask mandate was short-lived, folks, and states like Arizona got it right the first time because the governor of AZ, Kari Lake, rejects them anyway and banned them in the state altogether. And a shocking and surprising outcome from one California city as the Huntington Beach City Council narrowly voted to ban universal mask and Rona 19 jab mandates in the city. The declaration passed with a 4-3 vote. But Dr. Anthony Fauci is still remaining hell-bent and continuing to meddle, and he is warning people because he is concerned that people won't mask up again as new Rona cases, hospitalizations, and deaths continue to rise in the U.S. But back to Maryland, because just as the new school year begins and the new Rona variant cases rise, mask mandates in some schools across America have reignited a divisive political debate. And despite only a few schools requiring masks, the issue has garnered significant attention from the media and, more importantly, from us. You and I, we will not comply. And we, the people, and truth-seeking YouTube channels like mine and Squirrel Tribe will continue to deliver that message. So get this. Senate Republicans took a stand and put their foot down by introducing legislation to prohibit mask mandates, federal mask mandates on domestic air travel, public transportation, public transit, and schools through the year 2024. And conservative figures, including Senator Ted Cruz, Nikki Haley, and former President Donald Trump, have strongly opposed school mask mandates too. However, some school administrators express reluctance to revisit bitter debates over masks and jabs, and we aren't even going to pretend that these newly fabricated rising sickness, illness, and virus rates hold any merit, and this continues to create a lack of consensus on mask requirements, with proponents emphasizing protection for vulnerable students. But the fact of the matter is that masks are not effective, and if anything, cause more harm than good, and are costly at that. People don't have that kind of money to waste right now. Oh, and did I mention they're stupid?
Think about that. That's just dumb.
Needless to say, the political divide over mask wearing continues, with some areas embracing masks and others strongly and publicly opposing mandates. And you can count me in on that front. But critics argue that the focus should be on improving ventilation and air filtration in schools rather than on mask mandates. But what do you guys think? Oh, And in regard to what I mentioned earlier in the video, the Biden administration is done and they know it. 2024, we will see a major change. Mark my words. Now, I can't tell you exactly what will happen and who will win and ultimately replace him, but his torturous reign is over. It's coming to an end. And the proof is actually coming out of Germany, of all places. But hear me out. There's undeniable logic to this, and if you care to know more, just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment saying, Kevin, please tell me more. And if there's enough interest, I'll be sure to make that video.